Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Brock the Collector here, coming back to you with another video. Actually, let me just say Brock the Collector here, coming back. Period. I know I've been gone for another 3 months. Look, guys, I apologize. I'm gonna sum it up in one word: college. But don't worry, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing great. I just had to take a back seat. I had to put y'all onto the back seat right now. But right now, I'm bringing y'all back up to the passenger side. You guys are riding with me as we take a look at this highly anticipated Deadpool and Wolverine wave. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I don't know what in the world is going on with Hollywood, Marvel Studios, any of that stuff. I watched this movie, though. I've seen this movie. I know that they have stuff in the oven. I've been looking forward to adding these figures to my collection. I've also seen that they have an accompanying Legacy collection. We're going to be taking a look at one of those Legacy collection figures we have here with us right now. And we're going to be doing some nice little lovely comparisons. I will say this, though. There's probably not going to be a display portion in this video. And I know that's what a lot of you guys come for. But that's because the display looks just ridiculous right now. It looks ridiculous. But anyways, enough. You guys are sitting here looking at these boxes. We're gonna delve into the figures. Thank you guys for welcoming me back with open arms, because I'm sure that you guys have. Or maybe things are better when I was gone, but you guys are lovely people. I'm sure that in the comments right now, y'all are showing plenty of love, and I love you guys as well. You guys know how much I missed you. But let's take a look. We got 4 figures here to talk about. 5 if you include the Deadpool, I think. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, after some time being gone, I think I've lost a pretty good amount of my posing gene. I'm not gonna lie, I lost a pretty good amount of my posing gene. It was probably at its best in 2022, but it's gone slowly downhill since then. But anyways, just taking a look at these figures, man. The figures in general are what you can basically expect from, you know, the modern Marvel Legend formula, especially in regards to the movie figures, new sculpts, detailing, and all that other stuff. It's kind of a shame that I don't have the Legacy Collection versions or the previous 2-pack X-Men, I think it was 25th anniversary or whatever it was, the 25th anniversary figures to show you guys here. Because, and then the shame is I had just had those earlier, like I just sold them off like last year. But the thing is, between these figures and those, you can see the small little changes and improvements that Marvel Legends has made since then. But in general, there's not too much that had to change with these guys. Like the Deadpool, for example, I believe that the red is just a lighter red than the last version. And I believe that he does have the legs are pinless. The last one only had pinless arms. The legs are pinless this time though. And you can actually see there's a bit the costume, there's changes in the engineering and design, and there's changes in the costume design itself. But the Deadpool figures were always very it was a very intelligently engineered piece. I believe that actually the previous Deadpool did not have these. It had guns sculpted into the thighs. This figure actually, I was worried that this figure didn't actually come with any guns when I was taking it out of the package. But it turns out that the guns on this figure, you'll see it in the holster when you pick up the guy, can actually come off, which is something that I know a lot of people have had gripes about with the movie figures, especially with Marvel Legends in general. I think it's quite just frustrating how they do that. And with this figure, they have turned that around. But we also have these more realistic designed guns. I believe this is what, like a Desert Eagle, a Deagle as they call it. Thank God I played Warzone back when it was popular, because I would not know what the heck this is. But I know it looks more real than the previous gun that it had. The previous gun that came with the Negasonic Teenage Warhead 2-pack Deadpool, those were, I think, you know, they just had to make those look a bit toyish because they were on shelves. Which, speaking of which, I don't know whether or not this wave is hitting store shelves. The box, if you pay attention to the box says ages 14 and up. So I'm thinking they are going to hit store shelves, but maybe not in a kid's aisle. I don't know what is going on here. Maybe you might see them in the NECA section instead of the more traditional toy aisle that you'd usually find your movie Marvel Legends. But that's quite interesting to note. But overall, in the Deadpool figure, as I said, all that you can expect from modern Marvel Legends. Brilliant sculpted detail. Look at the texturing there. Smoother on the black parts of the outfit, as I believe it should be. The red, I will say I liked the previous red more, but I know that this red, they try to make it seem a bit more comic booky. So I believe that it's not bad, is it? It's pretty sick. Coming around to the back of the figure, because I always try to remember to show you guys the back. We have nice paint detail continuing all the way through. There might actually, I believe that these 2 buttons back here are supposed to be gold on the back there. You might have to check the Hot Toys figure for that to see the reference. The head sculpt, I can't tell whether or not it's different. There's always something about, I know that people tend to complain about the head sculpts, especially for these masked characters like Deadpool, Spider-Man. They can never exactly get the look just right. It's not one of my problems with the figure, but I will say, yeah, there's something about it. Like, you could definitely get, like, I just feel like the jawline down here is a bit too, it should, I don't know, thin up a bit more. Do you get what I'm saying? The head is a bit too boxy. Ryan Reynolds does not have a head shape like that super duper, but it does look like Deadpool though. Still, you have all the cues there that are supposed to point you towards the Deadpool thing. The only reason, not the only reason, but one of the few reasons why this video is coming so late now is because I had a hella difficult time trying to find this beautiful number, the Hugh Jackman Wolverine in an actual superhero suit, not just wearing wife beater clothes and all that stuff, not just wearing clothes that your Uncle Fred would wear on a day on the ranch. You get me? He's actually put himself decked out in a nice superhero costume, and we finally have that realized as an action figure. For a lot of movie Marvel Legends collectors, I gotta say, it looks great. I'm a particular big fan of how I know that a lot of people were worried about the MCU over design, and I will say this is one of those figures where it both is and isn't there. Like, you have the textured sculpted detail and you have the lines that people always talk about, the lines, but it's not, it says Wolverine to me. If you translated Wolverine into the more movie inspired outfit, and of course you want to add some air of, if you're going to put them into an outfit, you want to keep some air of modernity in there. They had that scene in the movie where you flip through all the different comic versions and more, comic accurate Wolverines, the different comic interpretations they had. You had all those, but this is the main MCU Wolverine that we're looking for, isn't it? And at the end of the day, I feel like most people are pretty decent. They're pretty all right with the costume, because I'm going to be real. The costume is very sick. If you're going to translate it into realistic, into live action, the costume, man, it's executing everything it needs to execute, man. The only thing I will say, my personal gripes with it, I just feel like the boots look disgusting. I just feel like they look a bit disgusting. They could have gone a bit more simplistic with it, I feel like, and still made it seem all right. But still, the costume design, it's good, man. So here is the X-Men 97 Wolverine. Sorry, I don't want to take it out of the box. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to take it out of the box. But to compare, so of course we have that tallness that comes with the Hugh Jackman. That tallness that comes with the Hugh Jackman. Sorry. We have that height that comes with Hugh Jackman, but then, of course, we also have the comic accuracy that's inspired. That sort of tiger stripes is what I meant to say. These almost tiger stripe-ish design here on the modern MCU Hugh Jackman that you can see sort of derived from the more comic-inspired appearance. The pose I actually had this figure in is actually this exact pose you see on the box that I had this figure in before I changed it for you lot. But, I mean, of course, you can see the inspiration on the boots. I think that's what it is. I feel like I wanted the boots to have the cows, or whatever they are called. I feel like that would have been nice. But all that is really more of a knock on the costume design than it really is a figure and Hasbro's execution of the figure. Because all in all, I feel like what is being presented here is actually quite nice. And along with the figures themselves, you have not a huge flurry of accessories. Of course, Deadpool has his 2 katanas in his back and a little sword in the sheath on the leg. Wolverine is pretty light. He has a clenched fist for his right hand, and an open gripping hand for his left. So he'll only be able to hold in the left hand, unfortunately. Got him a, what do you call it? I need to cut my nails, I'm not gonna lie. Got him a, what do you call it? A beautiful Hugh Jackman head sculpt there. Beautiful Hugh Jackman head sculpt. But no, man, look at this. Look at this Hugh Jackman head sculpt, man. That actually, not gonna lie, that might actually be in top 10 best I've seen. Like, this is really, really good. That is really, really good, man. I love that still. Look at that. I think I'll be displaying him like this, And I'm telling you, the sculpted detail on the movie figures, it's just something that's so nice about all, like, you can zoom up to all of them. You can walk up closer on almost all your movie figures besides maybe Tracksuit Mafia and just see, like, the amount of work that was put into them, man. The only gripes I can really say about my copy of this figure, just, you guys can see that sort of paint bleeding and blemishing on that. right there. And also, Deadpool is low-key hard to stand. This is, the last one was far easier to stand. And the boots, I'll tell you what it is. The boots are too smooth at the bottom. And then it sort of curves forward a little bit. So if I was to do something like, you know, well, I guess you guys are kind of looking up right now. But if I was to do something like just put some little pressure there, you see how easily he tumbles over. But yeah, so that's quite annoying. But let's do some comparisons real quick before we move on to some of the rest of the figures in the But I'm just warning you guys, quick fair warning, these comparisons are not going to be germane at all. There might be one I'll do that actually makes sense. But for now, let's take Deadpool next to Red Skull. That is the What If Red Skull. So as you can see, Deadpool was quite a bit skinnier, but the Red Skull, and yes, skinnier with a fatter head, but Red Skull, you know, shorter. But also, you know, got a bit more beef to him, a bit more mass, and of course, compared next to the Wolverine, very much shorter. I did not actually think Red Skull was that much shorter than him. Let's take Pepper Potts here. I never, ever bring this figure down, but she came tumbling down one day, and you can see how long I've had her in this pose. Take a look at those legs. Ugh. But Pepper Potts next to Deadpool. Not bad. Not bad. There's probably never going to be any time we see these two even anywhere near each other on a screen, but Pepper Potts next to Wolverine. Okay, there she goes. I really like the arm on this figure, man. So those are some Infinity Saga-ish comparisons. But this is phase 4, or phase 5, phase 6, whatever it is, isn't it? So let's take a look at them next to a few other Marvel classic characters, some classic Marvel movie characters pre-MCU. Put these to the side to make way for the big, huge arms on this Doc Ock. Damn it. Actually, there's probably no way for me to do this practically. Let me just put each figure in around his arms like he's Santa. So you can see Dr. Octopus is actually quite tall. I was not expecting that. Let's see him compared to next to Wolverine. I thought that Dr. Octopus was far shorter. He's about the same height as these people. How tall is Alfred Molina? Or maybe these figures might just be out of scale. But no, Hugh Jackman is relatively tall, man. So this seems like this is about right. Interesting one. It's crazy, man. Next to Wolverine. I'm pretty sure that she's at least the same height as Wolverine, if not taller. About the same height. Head is so much smaller though. You know, sometimes you gotta ask yourself what these figures would look like, what the What If figures would look like if they did try to do that Star Wars Black Series thing and translate them into live action. But I think I still probably prefer the animated design. I really do. Spoiler warning, I guess. Whatever, all you guys know the movie better than I do. But yeah, look, take a look at that, man. I will say, man, they never really nailed the Chris Evans likeness on these Infinity War caps. Like, even this one is still like, ugh. Something about it looks pre-photoreal. Like, if you take a look at this next to, maybe it's the paint application, but something about the one on the left. I mean, if you guys take a look at that, maybe it's the sculpt. Maybe this is one of those figures where the sculpt is like weird, but yeah, there you go. So you got Chris Evans right there. Do you know what he was doing to the budget? And that joke was hella good still. That joke was hilarious. I think, yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one. Oh, wait, hold on. Before we move on, I just realized I didn't compare these suckers next to a single X-Men. So, there's it. Wait, that looks good, you know. That looks good, you know. Do you not see it? Maybe the yellows could match a bit more. But, so this is the X-Men 97 Storm on, wait, hold on, I'm getting confused. This is the animated series Storm head on the X-Men 97 Storm body. And that is, man, that looks good, man. I'm not gonna lie, I like that still. That's pretty cool. Nah, that's awesome, man. Stop playing with it. Stop playing with it. That is some, whew. Should I open up an X-Men display? Might just do, man. I might just do, because that's doing something to me. I can see why the 90s Jim Lee fans and all that, they like having their teams together, because that must look sexy on a show. All right, some of the final figures from the wave. We're going to kind of blow past these pretty quickly, because there's not a super... Oh, Well, to be fair, this last guy we will talk about for a little bit. But I do want to talk about this Logan real fast because, you know, he's not too much different compared to what you guys have seen before. This is the only figure in the... Wow, this figure has pins on it. Wow, surprising. I thought that these legs are new. Tell me what these legs are from, guys, because I don't know the Marvel Legends catalog anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not in touch. I don't know what is going on with the Marvel Legends line. But this figure is pretty cool, man. It's just Logan. It has a seemingly... Like, the head sculpt seems pretty similar. I thought that it was the same sculpt, but it looks not as good as the other one. There's something weird about his lips. His lips look hella strange. It look like Michael Jackson's lips a bit. You get what I'm saying? The eyes are cool. I do like the sculpted detail and everything. There just seems to be like there's a certain quaternary structure to the sculpted detail on the face. Like, of course, if you guys look historically at Marvel Legends faces, the sculpts have always been pretty nice, but like you have the basic head shape that I consider the primary structure. You have the secondary structure, which is maybe a bit more the beard stuff like the hair, sculpted detail in that. Tertiary structure is the amount of paint that they actually put in. But then, like, this quaternary structure is this conflation of, like, this more intricate sculpted detail. Like, you guys can see the groove lines, like the annoyed lines on the head with, you know, the mixture of the paint and all that. That just goes into it and just makes it really pop, man. You guys can tell how much I've been studying biology, can't you? Look at all that protein information right there. But, yeah, no, this figure is pretty decent. I like the arms. I think the arms might also be reused. Something interesting here is that the legs, I was worried that my leg here was warped or misshapen because the foot was like this out of the package. And I'm sitting there like, how the hell am I supposed to pose it like that? But it turns out that there's actually swivel down here on the ankles, like around the ankle place. And you can see these are basically just the exact same boots as his suited figure. So these are supposed to be the same boots, but they didn't put as much paint into them, which is strange. Okay, that's something I'm figuring out. So apparently he's wearing like the suit under this or something like that. Got a handkerchief sticking out of his pocket because he's crying all the time because all his friends are dead. No, pretty cool, man. This figure has straighter, what do you call claws? They're just called claws, right? Are Wolverines like Wolverines called anything? I think they're just called Wolverine claws. I've never heard them called anything else. But no, this is still cool, man. If you're looking, especially if you're looking to complete all of the, get as many Hugh Jackman Wolverines as you can, this is definitely one that you'll need, Logan. The only other thing that this figure comes with besides this nice looking head pool, which is the closest thing we have to an unmasked Wade Wilson head sculpt, for the movie figures in the line. Sorry, I'm twisting it way too fast. Damn it. All right, there we go. Very, very nice paint detailing on that head pool. Actually, look at the eyes. Those eyes are serious, man. Alright, but the only other thing that this Wolverine comes with are white dude fists. I don't know how the hell... If you guys don't separate your Marvel Legends accessories, and you have a pretty sizable collection, or at least a decent one... honestly, you don't need... It doesn't even have to be super duper huge. Maybe like 50 figures plus. I don't know how the hell you guys decipher between your fists, especially either your black glove fists or your white dude fists. Like, how do you guys decipher between those? Because, yo, but one of the absolute beauties, one of the most anticipated movie figures of all time, I would say, is this Colossus. I've seen plenty of people talk about this Colossus. Whenever people talk about X-Men movie figures, it's this Colossus that's being brought up. And after having it in hand, I can see what people were pining for. Man, this figure is cool. This figure is cool. We got butterfly joints up in here. Sculpted detailing on the arms. It's not just painted. That is sculpted, you know, grooves, detents, whatever it may be in the skin and that. The head sculpt is hella nice. It has that... Sorry, this guy is huge. It has that, it just has that Colossus feel, that movie Colossus feel. And there's something about it that is still, you can see it still hella caters to the comic design as well. I will say, I'm not a big fan of the Colossus suit. I think the Colossus suit looks hella boring. But this figure is very cool, man. It's very cool. So you can see that angry head there. Yeah. Yeah, this figure is awesome. And one of the absolute best accessories, he comes with this little book. I actually have a pretty decent amount of books on the movie shelf. Like the Spider-Man figures came with The Spider-Man 2-pack with Ned came with a few books. I'm sure that there's been a Doctor Strange that comes with a book. Wanda came with a book. What does this actually say? No killing anyone ever. Rule 2. Please label everything in the refrigerator. Is that actually from the movie? Can you guys tell me if this is actually in the movie? Because that's sick if that is. But why is Rule 1 so far into the book? No, but this is a very, very, very cool figure. I love this. I was kind of worried about the way it was posed in the box because it sort of suggested to me a like a hunched over appearance, but it's very cool, man. I love this. And as always, I tell you guys, I get frustrated whenever people don't show the back. So there's the back. Colossus has a huge booty. Huge, huge, huge booty. Like, that is crazy. But yeah, not much going on here. Good articulation on the Colossus as well. It's not bad. Although, he always sort of has this a bit of a hunched forward look to him because of the way the ab just crunches. But I believe he's usually doing that anyways. Yeah, so real quick comparisons. There's not much I actually want to compare this guy to. But as soon as I took him out of the box and felt him, he reminded me of someone. And I just remembered who that is. You guys cannot tell me that these two guys aren't related. Or at least Colossus didn't descend from this common ancestor, the Destroyer. Look at this. Ah, damn it. If the camera leans back again. Sorry about that, guys. But look at that. So this is both a testament to the modern design and work put into Marvel Legends, because this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I do prefer the silver on this Colossus. But to be fair, maybe it's just time that I've had this Destroyer for, that it's beginning to, you know, light and all that paint. It has an effect on the paint and whatever, and also dust. A combination of different things, but this is sexy, man. This is sexy. I like this. So let's get the family photo all together and take a look at what we got. So an effective metric of assessing the quality of figures, as I've said before, is looking at the attention to detail, the articulation on the figures, and the presentation of the entire, of the entire piece, from accessories, paint apps, all that good stuff that people tend to talk about tend to reference whenever they reference well-designed and, well-regarded figures. These figures pose great. They pose just how, well, let me not say great. As the Marvel Legends line evolves and new technology is being added into that, sort of bolsters and supplements what has already been there for years on end, like the double jointed elbows, knees, and all that other stuff. What is good articulation really going to mean in the future? What is, butterfly joints. Butterfly joints is not just enough for figures to have them anymore. You have to be able to use them effectively and in tandem with, the arms and the sculpt. You got to have stuff like hip and diaphragm joints. Is just the basic crunch like all the figures in this wave have? Is that outdated now? Is the new super articulation that you have with the Spider-Man figures, is that supposed to be the new normal as we see it integrated into other figures in the line other than just, the comic inspired Spider-Man pieces? All this other stuff you got to weigh in and consider whenever you decide to say whether or not these are empirically, innovative or revolutionary figures, because I don't think I can sit here and say that this wave is doing anything particularly new for the Marvel Legends line. Is this wave a return to X-Men, Fox X-Men love, or is it, is it signalizing just, just the current marketing cycle demanding product for the next film that's inevitably going to be swallowed by whatever is coming next, Captain America, or all that good stuff, which you guys know we will be reviewing on this channel. So keeping the wave small, is that a good idea? Did that allow the company to invest more into these figures? What would this wave have looked like if, say, it was a full 8-movie figure wave, or maybe a comic wave, a Build-A-Figure? Would Colossus have been something like that? Like, did they want to keep it bite-sized to test people's want for these figures? Because let's be real, these figures are incredibly hard to find, man. Other than the Logan is the only one I've seen in stock. The Wolverine, the Deadpool, the Colossus, cannot see them for under retail. So is that a sign to them that, more Fox X-Men figures are wanted and are to come. You know, we'll just have to wait and see. But what I can say is that these figures for now, pretty great. And there's a lot of good stuff that I haven't brought up that I really do appreciate about the Wolverine. Like, for example, the shoulder pads. I think they used a O-ring system for the shoulder armor, but whatever it is, man, it's beautiful. Just in order to get this for $25 with each one of these figures, you're gonna get what you paid for, except for maybe the Logan. Oh, and to be fair, the Colossus is $30, which is steep. We'll see what they try to do with this next year with legacy collections and all that, because I'm sure that the Deadpool Wolverine, the popularity of this movie grossing over $1 billion in the box office, will tell them something about, hey, maybe people want more figures inspired from these particular interpretations of the characters. But thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Sneak up head pull in there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry I was gone for so long. Thank you guys for coming back to me. God bless you. You guys know how much I love you. And I do have a few videos planning to be pushed out into the endless slog of this YouTube channel over the next few days that you guys should look forward to. The next one will be a Star Wars video, and I swear I'll have more intelligent things to say than the movie seemed to be popular and the figures seem to be selling out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for coming back to me. Stay safe out there. Always remember to be the best, and I will catch you all next time. Oh, hold on. I forgot to rate the figures. Logan gets a 6 out of 10. Deadpool gets a 6 out of 10. And that's only because of the QC issues I have on mine. If I'm rating the figure objectively, probably like 7 if I include the fact that the guns come out of the holsters, which I really do enjoy. The storage on that figure is beautiful. Wolverine, 8 out of 10. Very, very decent. Most people would probably give it a higher rating than that. It's 8 out of 10 for me, just because I'm saying, if you're a Wolverine fan, you're gonna love that Wolverine figure. Ever since, what's his name? Ever since James Madsden, or whatever his name is, Cyclops, blue balled you, teased you in the, I think it was X2 or whatever it may have been, X1, with the yellow spandex reference. This is for you, man. You've been waiting 20 years for this. Cyclops, I probably called him Cyclops more than once. Colossus, beautiful. Beautiful. Don't have much more to say than that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Again, no display segment for this video. I swear I'll come back with another one when the display is looking somewhat acceptable. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out there. And always remember to be the best. Later.